However, I think Diaz's right foot trips Reget's right foot before he kicks the ground.
But Ryan, in my opinion, I see Reget getting out of the challenge.
Well, if he falls due to him kicking the ground, then you're right. But I think before he kicks the ground, I think his right foot is tripped.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Under Review, the most controversial show in the Major Arena Soccer League. My name is Phil Lavanco. That is the head of officials for the MASL, Ryan Cigich. And Ryan, it's the Ron Newman Cup Finals, and I've got to ask you one question. What is more stressful, doing Under Review with me or trying to do it live during the broadcast?
Definitely with you, Phil. You stress me out sometimes.
And Ryan, we're going to start off with this play from Neto. He's just standing there with the ball at his feet. What the heck is going on here?
I have no idea, Phil. It's very bizarre. I'd like to know maybe what the tactics were with this, but I don't. I mean, he never gets possession of the ball, which by our rules is defined as a player having clear control for more than 1 second. So that doesn't happen. So Rich Grady's just standing there. He doesn't start counting. It's really a bizarre play. I ran into Kim Rundven and Alan Mayer at the arena and Keith Tozer. So we've got people that have like 544 years of combined experience in the game, and nobody has ever seen this.
544 years approximate.
Well, yeah, maybe 100. I don't know.
Next play from the second quarter here in game one. Marquez and Lopez tangled up by the boards. And in my opinion, this is a blue card. It's a trip on Lopez. I think he trips him cynically and intentionally. Ryan, what do you see on this play?
I mean, maybe, but I also think, Phil, it's a heavy touch. And I don't think Marquez is getting to that ball anyways. And I kind of think they just get tangled. It's in the defensive half of the field. So, I mean, look at, the referees have been very consistent during the playoffs that unless it's 100%, do not give a blue card, and we haven't. So I actually like this as being no penalty.
Moving on to the third quarter, and to me, Ryan, a clear-cut shootout for the Comets. Sousa steals the ball and is taken down by the Chihuahua defender, heading towards goal with possession. So I've got a shootout here. What do you got?
Yeah, 100%. It's a very good call. Sousa was held, and had he not been, he would have been off to goal, right down the center of the field with possession of the ball, and good call there by Rich Grady.
After the shootout, now in the third quarter, an unusual situation on the penalty for the Comets. I think the penalty is indisputable. We can all agree on that one. I want to focus on why Kansas City was so upset after the Marquez goal. Ryan, can you help me out here?
I agree with you. The penalty kick is correct because Escalante pushes Ramon off the ball, and he was going to head the ball into the goal. So it denies an obvious goal scoring opportunity. Therefore, it's a penalty kick. So what happens here? Now we have a penalty kick with 1 second left and a current penalty that is going down from number 1 that was in the box. And then Escalante goes in for the push. So now we have a penalty on Chihuahua with 1 second left and a penalty with 2 minutes that hasn't begun yet. So the penalty kick is taken, which is a live play. And on a live play, the clock starts and that 1 second expires. And then the goal is scored, so we have a power play goal. So that's why both players are released. If there had been more than 1 second on the clock, then there would not have been enough time to expire the whole penalty, and Kansas City would have gotten an additional power play for the Escalante push.
Ryan, I'm glad I'm not a referee that has to sort through all of that or continue sorting through these plays here in the third quarter. Hugo Puentes is looking for a blue card on Garza, and in my opinion, there's minimal contact. Even if it's high, Puentes does embellish a little bit, in my opinion, and the Chihuahua number 9 is given a yellow card for his troubles for dissent. So Ryan, do you agree with the referee's decision that this is not a blue card on Garza?
Yeah, just like I said during the game, I mean, there's just not much in this. Yes, there's a little bit of contact there, but it's negligible contact. It's very light. There's a bit of an embellishment or exaggeration there as well, but there's no swing of the arm. The foul only is the correct call. And then, Hugo just needs to calm down a little bit, and he's still upset, so he gets a yellow card for dissent after the fact.
And Ryan, our last stop on this tour in game one, probably the most controversial decision in my opinion, at least the handball call on Berto Palmer. And in my opinion, it is a handball. That angle right here that you see frozen on the screen, That is my smoking gun angle that says it hit the defender's armpit. So for me, a handball. Ryan, what is your decision on this?
Well, yeah, Phil, it is a handball. Unfortunately, it's a handball. I don't really like it the way that we interpret this now, but, you know, I don't make up the interpretation. That comes from FIFA. But Robert's arm is out away from his body. If his arm was not there, then the ball would have gone past his body despite the deflection off of his chest, okay? So that deflection does not negate a handball. Only in some circumstances when the player plays the ball into his arms is it not considered handling. And I think that's what a lot of folks are getting hung up on. But this ball off his chest, it's not a deliberate play by him, it deflects. This is just textbook these days. This is a handball. You know, Robert actually looks like he's a goalkeeper coming out there to make a sliding save. So, you know, as a defender, you just assume the risk when your arms are that high and that away from your body like that. It's got to be a handball called, unfortunately.
Now off to Chihuahua for game 2, and it took all the way to the third quarter for our first blue card of the game. But in my opinion, Ryan, this is not a blue card on Ramirez. Does he grab his shoulder? Yes, and you can see it here on the video, but the contact, in my opinion, is very minimal. I don't think it raises to the level of a blue card.
Well, I mean, I don't know, Phil. I could debate this both ways. He is grabbed and he does get turned, but it is in the defensive half. And if we just talk about what's been consistent in the playoffs, you know, we haven't been calling this as a 2-minute penalty much. So from that standpoint of it, I do agree with you. I think it should have been let go, just a foul only, just based on the fact that we've been letting this go for the most part during the playoffs. It's only a foul.
Fourth quarter now, Ryan, and Diaz and Reggett tangle in the corner while the Comet striker is heading towards goal. It goes to review, and in my opinion, this is a very difficult decision. But I think Reggett kicks the turf, and no blue card is the correct decision on that play. What do you say?
Yeah, I'm really split on this one, Phil, because it's a very, very tight judgment call. You're right. I mean, Reggett kicks the ground and then he throws his arms up, which both of those are signs of simulation. However, you know, I think Diaz's right foot trips Reggett's right foot before he kicks the ground. You know, and if you're going to get, and also, you know, he's being held there for quite a while. So, and if you're going to give the blue card for holding just a bit earlier in the game, then just for sake of consistency, this one should be. You know, this one to me feels more like a blue than not, just because it's one-on-one between the attacker and the goalkeeper, and it's just such a short range there.
But Ryan, in my opinion, I see Reggett getting out of the challenge on that one. So to me, he's exited the challenge, then kicks the ground, which causes him to fall. I think he's lucky on that one.
Well, if he falls due to him kicking the ground, then you're right. But I think before he kicks the ground, I think his right foot is tripped.
This review in the fourth quarter takes a goal away from the Savage, but in my opinion, it's the correct decision. Reynoso and Reggett go up for the ball. Reynoso makes contact with Reggett before hitting the ball. It's a very similar play than what we had earlier in the season with Chris Toth and St. Louis that got the ambush all riled up. So for me, correct decision by the officials.
Yeah, I mean, but Reynoso wins the ball here, and I just think the rest is just normal contact. I mean, but you're all right. This is a very, very, very tight judgment call. We got to slow it down to see what happens first here. But I think Reynoso wins the ball cleanly, and then just his follow through. I think that's normal contact. I don't have a foul here.
Last play here, Chihuahua trying to add a sixth attacker goal, and this is a great spot from the referees, in my opinion. The ball hits the hand of the Savage attacker before it's settled into the back of the net, and we know handball laws are heightened when the ball scored. So for me, this is a good decision.
Yeah, definite contact with Diaz left hand and the ball, and the attempted header that he does there goes to a teammate who then scores. But, you know, because of the position of Diaz, the closest referee there, Fernando Pena, it's difficult for him to see in real time, but that is attacker handball, goes to referee initiated review, and the goal is correctly disallowed.
That's it for under review. That's it for under review for the season. Ryan, can you believe we did 20 of these?
I had to spend that much time with you, Phil.
Oh, how dare you?
No,
how dare you?
No, it's been great doing these with you.
Well, I want to thank everyone who's watched these. I want to thank everyone who sent in plays. I want to thank everyone who sent us texts telling us we're wrong. Where are we going on vacation, Ryan? We're going to Cabo? We're going to LA? What are we doing?
I don't know. Croatia.
Long nap. We'll take a long nap. We'll see you next time on Under Review.